Welcome to Eyes on Intel. Today is Sunday, May 31st, 2026. A cage is never a safety measure, it is a profit center that masquerades as order, while the machinery of state-sanctioned cruelty grinds human beings into line-item assets. Before we dissect the latest manifestation of this bureaucratic horror, I ask you to keep us independent. This analysis is uncompromised, ad-free, and untethered to the interests we expose. If you value this work, please consider contributing via the Ko-fi link in the show notes. If you have the means, your subscription provides the stable, unshakable floor for this research. There is no corporate backing and no institutional leash, just a collective refusal to look away. Your support makes that possible. I appreciate you holding the line. When a system operates with this level of engineered cruelty, its primary defense is total opacity. The security state functions under a doctrine of absolute impunity, exemplified by the tactical blockade established around the Newark facility. Democratic Representatives Frank Pallone, Anelia Mejia, and Rob Menendez were explicitly barred from entering Unit 2. The tactical sweeps Ground Zero under the cover of an administrative lockdown. Simultaneously, the New Jersey Department of Health was denied entry for a comprehensive health inspection, restricted to witnessing a sanitized, pre-approved fraction of the site. Borders do not stop at the international boundary. They are replicated internally as opaque, lawless zones where constitutional protections are suspended and human rights become mere administrative friction. Outside Delaney Hall, masked federal agents have abandoned any pretense of democratic tolerance. They are tackling community organizers, pepper-spraying peaceful protesters, and even striking sitting U.S. Senator Andy Kim in the face. This enforcement apparatus no longer views the public as citizens with protected rights. They view the community as a hostile civilian populace impeding their human inventory. Shoving protesters into traffic or pinning bodies against moving semi-trucks is a statistical guarantee of future fatality. A catastrophic outcome is not a failure of this system. It is a budgeted cost of maintaining the perimeter. A moment where the pain of knowing this is all I can do never feels like it's enough. Maybe it'll speak to you the way it spoke to me. It's time for a breather.
You know, they talk about serve and protect. But who are they serving when they're locking brown people in cages and feeding them maggots at 3 a.m.? Who's protecting us from you? Injuries need to be treated, wounds need to be healed, bones break and the system acts like it's sealed. Taking the body, taking the soul. I saw the fight in Delaney, they lost all control. Batsmen in gear, the fear in their eyes, dragging the brown man down, ignoring his cries. Trampling citizens in the road meet. The bad riders starting, they own every street. They hide behind badges, they hide behind gear, but we know what they are when the smoke starts to clear. Sanctuary was a place to mend the head. Now it's just a graveyard for the living and the dead. Not anymore. Bardock rolled it, throwing that shit. But we know their cops get up. They say protect the homeland. Red, white, and blue. Well, let me give you a clue. They nothing but free and scramblings, bro, we stew. Delaney must fall. We let low blows the ice. Again and again, we remember the price they gassed the street. Murder.
Thank you for being here with us. That was a needed break. We're back now. Art is resistance, whether on paper, through instruments, in poetry, or in the streets. And yes, that even includes AI if it isn't generated by one of the tech bros' grifts and done on. All forms matter because they reclaim the humanity the system tries to strip away. It is how we refuse to be molded, how we keep our own light alive in the dark. This warfare is proliferating. Look at the federal lawsuit filed in Social Circle, Georgia, to halt the conversion of a 1 million square foot warehouse into an immigration megacenter designed to cage 10,000 people at once. Local municipalities are waking up to the catastrophic health and safety risks of these corporate black sites. When you drop an extractive carceral hub into a community, you aren't just caging migrants, you are degrading local infrastructure, draining medical resources, and importing a hyper-militarized police culture that treats the geographic region as an occupation zone. The local state apparatus infuses these regions with capital, transforming local economies into dependencies of the prison industrial complex. The situation at Delaney Hall has devolved into a cynical political performance. On Friday, May 29th, Governor Mickey Sherrill announced that New Jersey State Police would assume security responsibilities outside the facility in a move officially framed as an attempt to lower the temperature. This is a complete and utter joke. The brutality has simply been outsourced to local law enforcement, who have done nothing to actually protect the people. Under the guise of creating protected protest zones with barricades and checkpoints, the state police have continued the same cycle of suppression. By Friday night, they were already issuing dispersal warnings and deploying tear gas against protesters, forcing media crews into harm's way. It is a choreographed deception, a false peace meant to silence dissent, while the horrific conditions inside, including the ongoing hunger strike and medical neglect, remain completely unaddressed. This next one carries a pulse of rebellion, the kind that doesn't shout, it smolders.
Governor, governor, tell me why people on the right side history must be beaten and die. Governor, governor, tell me more about free speech. These free speech zones, cause mass goons acting like Looney Tunes with their clubs, bunk heads, throwing protesters under semi-truck treads. Is there something wrong with my head? Because from where I stand it looks like these fascists want us dead. But hey, thanks a lot for giving us a special spot to speak our minds. Call it a zone and spray paint a yellow line, because these fascist swine are yellow in their bellies and are funding the birth of a nation 2.0, selling their souls for a pension and toll. But you see, you said you were on our side, but you can't keep up the lies when you give the green light. Marching orders for the state police to protect federal borders, giving orders while state-sponsored instigators got their hands on their gat, rat-a-tat, violating laws, making calls, screaming, gonna light you up. What the fuck you expect the people to be sitting ducks? You're out of luck, we gonna buck back, and that's a fact. You expect us not to act when your boys lit the match. Locked them in cages, feeding them worms. Sure, that's protein, but that is hella mean, and you don't want to be seen. Prophets over people on your knees at the steeple in the holy light, saying blah blah blah, God's light. When you be the blight on the lips of the ones that hunger, peace met with brutality, it's gonna end in another fatality, and that's a fact. Sure, the deck's stacked, but hey, thanks a lot for giving us a special spot to speak our minds. Call it a zone and spray paint a yellow line, because these fascist swine are yellow in their bellies and are funding the birth of a nation 2.0, selling their souls for a pension and toll. That knows in the darkest holes rebellion is born. You woke up the swarm and there's no going back. La 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 la, you woke up the swarm and that's a fact. La 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 la, you woke up the swarm. Tell us how to act. Tell it how you break our wings and expect us not to sting.
We're back now. This physical enclosure is mirrored by a digital surveillance architecture built on the corporate-state alliance. The Department of Homeland Security does not need tactical gear to infiltrate a movement if they can simply subpoena the back-end user data of the platforms where organizers operate. Your digital footprint, IP logs, verified emails, and financial history from platforms like Reddit or Substack are at risk. Tech platforms desperate to protect Wall Street valuations are increasingly incentivized to capitulate to federal data harvesting, national security letters, and secret administrative subpoenas. This tracking system is designed to map, profile, and neutralize dissident networks before they manifest material resistance. The security state is building intelligence profiles on radical humanists, targeting anti-enforcement and migrant justice advocates, pro-Palestine boycott networks, and the LGBTQ community, particularly trans individuals whose mutual aid and healthcare access are systematically tracked. If you are a moderator or organizer in these digital spaces, passive observation is a luxury you cannot afford. We must weaponize statutory privacy laws, demand data audits, and force platforms to issue binding commitments against voluntary data sharing with intelligence fusion centers. This one feels like standing shoulder to shoulder with people who refuse to bow, rebellion stitched into every note.
Yeah. I remember when the world had a physical weight, before the algorithms decided who sealed our fate. Walking in the Walden book, smelling paper and ink. Now we're chained to a screen, haven't had time to think. Used to click a blue icon, hit the modem, start the screen. You got mad. That was the peak of the digital dream. No data brokers tracking the pulse in my wrist. Just a chat room, a screen name, and the world that we missed. KB Toys, Hours of Wonder, it felt like a maze. Now it's just a warehouse lost in a digital haze. Came off blue light special, the buzz in the air. Now the special is a tracking pixel showing up everywhere. We traded our memories for a subscription fee, for a feed that sells pieces of you and of me. The data mining the ghosts of our childhood past, building a digital prison that they swear is meant to last.
Nothing feels special when it's served on a plate by a bot in a server farm deciding I'll stay. We're just digital streetwalkers on an algorithmic stroll, selling off the remnants of a flickering soul.
Is there anything left that they haven't sold?
Take me back to the concrete, take me back to the light. Before the tech bros put our autonomy to flight. We were human, we were messy, we were offline and free. Now we're just data points in their war machine decree. Yeah, we're just data points in their war machine decree. No more special, no more magic. It's just so tragic. No more magic. It's just so tragic. It's just no more specials. No more magic. It's just so tragic. It's just no more.
That was a needed break. We're back now. The administration's aliens.gov website, with its dehumanizing, sensationalist rhetoric and interactive arrest heat maps, is cultural theater designed to justify this violence. The tech sector building an automated, AI-driven replacement government is simply providing digital scaffolding for an old horror. The automated subjugation of labor, borders, enforcement, and caging are temporary, artificial constructs that exist not to protect workers, but to fracture international solidarity, drive down the cost of undocumented labor through terror, and shield the owning class from a unified populace. Over the last 8 hours, the pace of these enforcement actions has not slowed. We have tracked new reports detailing coordinated sweeps in multiple regions, each one a carbon copy of the tactical aggressions seen in Newark. Furthermore, on May 31, 2026, detainees at the Camp East Montana ICE facility filed a federal class action lawsuit detailing physical beatings, sexual harassment, and squalid conditions. A brutal reminder that these sites are systemic hazards. We are also tracking global incidents, including a migrant woman who was slammed by police in the Netherlands, a stark act of disregard for bodily autonomy. We keep our eyes on ICE everywhere that should not have happened. As for the forced feeding of detainees, we are now on the 9th day of the legal window for this state-sanctioned torture, a practice that exposes the deportation industrial complex for the machinery of suffering it is. The structural violence we have discussed is not policy. It is the choice of people who believe humans can be converted into line-item profits. But the truth remains. The more they tighten their grip, the more they reveal the inherent instability of their own creation. We continue to build our own networks, not of surveillance, but of support, and that is where power lies. Our history is not dictated by those who hold the keys, but by those who refuse to accept that cages are a natural part of human existence. And before we close, I want to say something about Delaney Hall, and I don't say this lightly. The January 6th crowd loves to call themselves patriots, but their cognitive dissonance is like a peanut stuck in your throat, frustrating, hard to get rid of, and a little bit scary if we're being honest. But here's the truth. We should not be scared. We should not shrink. We should not let people who tried to overturn democracy lecture anyone about law and order. And we should absolutely show them through action, through solidarity, through documentation, through presence, that they are on the wrong side of history, even if the message falls on deaf ears there, and be the good neighbor. And as always, please remember, open hearts, open minds.